Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a super detailed, I hope you guys find this detailed, flawless, smooth, full coverage, all that really good stuff foundation routine. This was so highly requested. It's definitely something I get asked a lot of questions on. It's probably like one of my signatures and I hope you find it so helpful and so useful. If you do, please don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. If you're not new, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video and I really hope you guys enjoy it. Before we even get started, I don't know the scale of how much you know as a whoever's watching, that you know, so I'm just gonna say this. With base, the most important thing for me, I feel like, is skincare. If your skincare isn't meeting your skin requirements and skin needs, anything you scoop on top of it, anything you place on top of it will never look as smooth or as desirable as you want it to. The basic steps of skincare is cleanse. If you've been wearing makeup, double cleanse. I triple cleanse because I wear a lot of product. Double cleanse, triple cleanse, tone, moisturize, and I like to lock in my moisture with an oil. I used to do oil then moisturize, but actually I'm finding my skin responds so much better when I moisturize and then oil. So that's my kind of basic skincare routine. If you guys want me to go into depth in terms of product, because I am using new products at the moment, then definitely let me know and that will be like a separate video. Before you even do your base, you need to make sure your skin is prepped very well, otherwise your base is always gonna, it's just the products aren't going to work as well if your base isn't like prepped and ready. I'm just going to pop some eye cream on because my under eye feels quite dry. This is the MAC fastest one. If you find that your concealer doesn't go on as smooth, you only need a little bit of eye cream, not too much, then of course you can pop an eye cream on. I also like the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair, but this MAC one works really well if you have like puffy eyes. It's good to prep your under eyes because I think a few people, quite a lot of people actually, I think it's quite common for people to neglect that. I'm using a few primers, but the first one I'm going to use is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I've recently started using this actually. This was recommended to me and I actually really enjoy it. I like it. So I use this one all over the skin. I really enjoy a matte base. I find that my makeup lasts longer. I hate taking products out of my house. You're not going to see me with a brush and powder in the club toilets powdering up. It's just such a faff for me. If you're a powder person, then that's absolutely fine, but these are just the tips I use to make my makeup last longer. So I'll go in with a base primer. I find I like to mix primers because different primers offer different things, of course. Next, I'm going to go in with a combination of two primers. These are the Cover FX primers, the mattifying and also the blurring. Different areas of my face obviously behave very differently. Give these areas extra layering just so when I put the foundation over top it sits more smoothly, or sits smoother. I don't know the correct way to say that, but either way it sits nicer. You do not need 3 primers, by the way. If you find that, for example, you have normal skin and you want to add some hydration, you can use one primer that you find that works really well for you. This is just what I'm using at the moment just because I'm going to an event tonight, so I need my makeup to be extra, so I thought I would film it today. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit of the blurring primer again for that effect of just wanting that extra smoothness underneath the foundation. I try not to use too much of each one. Obviously I'm using a bit more of this one, but generally I'll use like a little bit of each just so it's not excessive, because you don't want to build up too much product underneath the foundation, just to make sure they sink into the skin nicely. So I'll leave them for like a good couple of minutes before going ahead and applying my foundation. At the moment I'm mixing 2 foundations and I'm also mixing 2 techniques. I find that this gives me the smoothest base, the best coverage, and overall I'm just really happy with how my foundation is looking using this little technique I'm about to show you, or doing what I'm currently doing. So the first foundation I'm going to go in with is my NARS Sheer Glow. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is probably one of my all-time favourite foundations ever. I did not mean to pump that on my forehead. I don't put too much foundation on my forehead at the moment just because I contour, so it seems like a little bit of a waste to put all that foundation up there. Foundation brush from Clinique, and I just literally work that in using stippling motions, and you can either tap it in like this, it will stippling like that, and then bringing down my neck. My face, my neck and my body are like 10 different colours. I'm also tan from holidays. There is so many colours going on my face right now, it's ridiculous. And I like to work downwards. Years and years ago I learned that if you push product upwards it's never going to sit smoothly because there's little hairs on your face. So I just always work in products downwards. Even if I'm like do like a little swirly motion, I make sure that the last motion that's done is downwards. Don't get me wrong, this is nice, this is fine, this is great, but it could be better. And with foundations, it's very important that you pick a foundation that's going to give you the finish that you're after. I like matte finishes because for me, matte makes my makeup last longer. Last Year Glow matte foundation. I'm also going to use Too Faced Born This Way matte primers, matte foundations. That's the kind of look I'm going for today, because you'll see further on down the line I will not be setting my foundation. I never really set my base. The only thing I set is my under eye, my contour with bronzer and pressed powder and all that really good stuff. As far as this area here and down here, it doesn't really get set with powder at all. I mix the foundations to give me the perfect colouring, so I find that if I set it, it kind of throws off the colouring again. Rambly, but that is my thought process behind foundations and bases. If your foundation is not smooth, anything that goes on top of it will consequently not be as smooth as you'd like it to, which is why next I will go in with my Born This Way foundation, and I just do a pump of this on either cheek. Disclaimer, I use a lot of foundation, as you can see. I have blemishes that I want to cover, which is why I tend to use more foundation. This is actually not too much for me. Generally, I would even go more, but I've been kind of scaling back a little bit. I think a lot of people are quite surprised at how much I layer my base product, because actually the finished product doesn't look that heavy. The thing about a good beauty blender is it picks up any excess. So it blends in what you need, and then the excess goes into the sponge. It's quicker to get full coverage using a brush because most of the product stays on your face. When you use a sponge, obviously you can see as well, it absorbs most of that product, which is why I like to combine the two. Concealer I love using is the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I've been using it for a while now. And how I apply this is I apply my concealer downwards. You know when people do the triangle, the way my face shape is set up, if I take that concealer too far, no amount of contouring is going to bring the depth back into that part of my face, and I can see it. When I look at myself, I'm like, the centre of my face is too light. This centre bit is quite small on my face, so I like to keep everything in tight. I just want the brightness to be there, literally. That is where I want the brightness. I've even stopped putting concealer on the bridge of my nose because I find, again, the center of my face, it just gets lost, and then I have to bring back structure using contour on my nose, and it just never looks the same. It just always looks one-dimensional. Always remember to wet your sponge. I like to wash mine before as well, because the way product builds up in sponges doesn't make sense. So if you're going to be wetting your sponge, you might as well put some shampoo on it and give it a good wash into my nose, and then take the excess there. And if I don't have any eyeshadow on, which today I don't, I will take it on top of my eyes as well. If I was to take that too far out, it's just going to get rid of all of that. I have nice high cheekbones, it's just going to get rid of all of that, and then I have to overcompensate with contour. Further out you take that concealer, it's going to make your face look wider, and I like my face to look nice and sculpted, so I like to keep it in. I literally contour all of this, so there is no point in me loading up foundation, loading up concealer, only to go over top and contour the whole thing away. It's more fun when you don't create loads and loads of work for yourself. That's what I found. I like a nice bronzy contour, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in Ebony. Firstly, apply it on here, and then I will apply a little bit there. That's not a little bit, but I will apply it there and then on my forehead. I'm gonna do one side of my face first. As I said, I'm quite lucky in terms of my face structure that it's quite easy to see where my cheekbone is. I like to apply the contour product, so my foundation stick, on my cheekbone. Right there, feel like your cheekbone. That is where I apply it. Naturally, the product is gonna spread below anyway, and it just sits nicely on my cheekbone. If I apply it below, pushing upwards, the product is still naturally going to slip down, and then you find that it's kind of dragging your face down, because actually your cheekbone is up here, but the contour is like down around here. This is the Luxie 731. Love it for contour because it's small, angular, little tapping motions. Blend it upwards, blend it onto my cheekbone as well. Now I have to be extra careful because I have a frontal on. I don't really want to get hella product, so that's when I go to the side that points up. And just take that side to help me blend that product in. Don't forget to hit the one on the chin as well. Blend that downwards so there's no like weird lines of demarcation. Sometimes I'll even pop my double chin out just to make sure it's really nice and blended. Gets like that sometimes. I like to use this Morphe E13 to blend out my nose contour. repeat the process onto the other side. I'm using my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in Blondie. And again, I just use this on the damp sponge because blow off the excess. I don't like to wipe anything off. I just let it melt into the skin. That's how I set my under eye with my damp sponge, and I just let it sink on into the skin. So I use my sponge there to clean up the sides. Contour, I'm using my NARS pressed powder. This is in Valley. It's a soft velvet pressed powder. I really like this. And I apply this using my Smith 110, and I literally just press that in using bouncing motions. And also here, just because I lighten that area up, just go in and make sure that it just blends nicely in. At this point, I'm just going to set my base down. I like to set my base down a few times. I'm using the Nip and Fab Fixing Mist. This is also mattifying shock. I'm gonna pop off camera real quick and do my brows and my lashes, and then we'll come back and finish off the rest of the face. Lashes I'm wearing are the Tatti Lashes. These are the TL3s. Those are like my new obsession. And to do my brows, I just use the Anastasia Dip Brow in Ebony. So to bronze, I'm using CoverGirl Ebony Queen Collection bronzer, which I know is sold out, which is just so bloody annoying. Just love bronzer, so I'd go heavy with this. Sometimes I double up on a setting spray, so I also use the NYX Matte Finish Spray. Both matte finish sprays, as you can see a pattern in my routine here. Generally, my base is matte, 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 because I feel like that's what lasts longer, that's what gives me the smoothest finish, a finish that I desire. And then how I bring back some dewiness, sometimes I'll mix the Becca Shimmer and Perfecta liquid in with my contour, so I'll put the contour on and then I'll put like half a pump on this on either side of my face, and I'll use it to blend in. But naturally I have a bit of a glow to my skin anyway, so I've found that not using a highlight has actually not been that bad. Like, I've actually kind of been loving it. But yeah, I like to bring the dewiness in with a liquid or a powder highlight. That's how I bring the dewiness into my skin, but otherwise my skin base is pretty matte because that's just what really works well for me. I have oily combo skin. I actually used to think I had just combo skin, but I got tested at Kiehl's and they said I have oily skin, which is probably why I always opt for a matte finish. It's just what makes my base last super long and makes it super smooth. If you have dry skin, I'm sure you'd want to opt for more of a dewy complexion. That's when you'd kind of switch in and out of products that give you that satin finish or a more hydrating finish, maybe using a hydrating primer. You would notice, as I said, I didn't really set the rest of my face. All I set was my under eyes and my contour, which basically takes up most of my face anyway. I'm just going to finish off by showing you guys my lip combo. It's so nice. It's the one I've been loving lately. Not that it's relevant to my base, but I feel like I'd be doing you guys a massive disservice if I didn't show you it. So I just use my MAC Chestnut. And then I take Limecrime Shroom. Limecrime Unripe Cherry. And then the finisher, which has just taken this already amazing lip combo to the next level. Extra Shine Lip Gloss from Smashbox. This is the finished look for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed today. Super detailed. I hope you guys found it detailed. I hope you learned something new. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up, share it, subscribe, all that really good stuff, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!